Hi guys, how are you? Happy Saturday, everybody. How are you today?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Okay. This is just a quick video to go over reality TV updates that are going on, and then P. Diddy. So today we're going to talk about Andy Cohen saving his job. We're going to talk about Carlos King's disaster. Okay. Love and the Marriage Huntsville, historically low ratings. We're going to talk about Simon blocking the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're going to talk about Melody Holt or Melody Sharrell Rogers, literally ending her reality TV career. And we're going to talk about Bravo, very interested in Martell Holt. Child, it's a lot. So anything you want to say? Because I don't even want to.
Yeah. And this off note, but I just want to wish my mother in heaven happy birthday, happy Mother's Day. And then to all the mothers out there, I especially want to say again, because tomorrow's your guys' big day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And especially you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Perry. Yeah. This is your first Mother's Day without mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. Let's keep on.
Stay strong. I love you. And your mother was an angel here on earth. She was a beautiful woman.
Best mother ever.
She was. Okay, no. No, we're not going to do that today.
Yeah.
But anyway, rest in peace, Mama Helen. Oh, time is going by so fast.
For real.
Anyway, let's talk about this reality TV stuff that's going on. In that way, and then I'm gonna chop it up later. I have been forgetting to chop up my videos, you guys. You're right. Just because I don't know, I just get off and then I just go on and do something else. But I have to start making it easier for you guys to find, because some people don't like sitting through an hour live stream. So I need to make it quick. Okay, so it was announced on Friday that Andy Cohen, the lawsuit against Leah McSweeney and Brandy Glanville was what's the exact words that they're used? Let me see if I can put it up. It says they closed the investigations into Andy Cohen after Brandy and Leah allegations. The outside investigation into the recent allegations made by Brandy Glanville and Leah McSweeney against Andy Cohen has now been completed, and the claims were found to be unsubstantiated. A rep for the network tells Variety. Okay, so they didn't find anything to proceed on with the lawsuits. This is a absolutely huge thing for Andy Cohen, because they were ready to fire him and get rid of his show, Watch What Happens Live. Now, congratulations, Andy Cohen. It's different than me reviewing a show and calling them dumb and stuff like that, because that's what I'm thinking about the storylines and how I feel about the show. But as a human being, Andy Cohen is the GOAT. He created Housewives himself, spun it into a franchise, and here we are decades later still talking about. Now, they're not at their peak, these shows,
no.
But they're still here and they're still making money, and things have changed, but I think he deserves to be in charge of his show. You don't want to create a show and then Bonji's so sweet. That is so sweet, Bonji. Hey, I love you, Bonji. Bonji has been with us how long?
Shit.
That's so nice. And she knows us, and she knows how Perry's feeling today. And Bonji, we love you. I can't even remember when you start coming around. Like, you've been through everybody, the panels and
all of it.
Yeah.
Day lockups and all the crazy stuff.
We love you, Bonji. We do. It's like a family over here. We have so many OGs. It's good. It's very, very good. So I appreciate your loyalty, Bonji and Perry. Anyway, so Andy Cohen saved his show, saved himself. saved itself from having to testify because we all know, according to the rumors, he's really upset about the Brandy situation because of Caroline Manzo, who's allegedly mob related, and they say that that's why he shows favoritism to Caroline. But he just deserves to be where he is. That's horrible. Create a show all these years and then have to turn it over to somebody else and all of that nonsense. So he gets to do what he's still doing, but he's got a big job ahead of him. All of the Bravo shows have sank in the ratings, period. That's just, and I'm not being mean or anything. They've all sank in the ratings. And so he's got a job to do. Can he save his shows? The only show over there that's making big money is Vanderpump Rules. Unbelievable ratings, okay? But they decided to stop filming because it was getting too intense. That's a smart move. It's a very, very smart move because we'll talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville in a minute, that when Carlos King didn't step in. So, ghetto, y'all gonna make me cry. She says, Happy Mother's Day, Sharrell and V. Heavenly to Perry's mom and all of you others. So sweet. Nothing like a mom. A mom is... Sorry.
That's the foundation right there, baby.
It is. Good moms. Anyway, so Andy saved himself, saved the show. He doesn't have to go to trial. He doesn't have to face the mob, the alleged mobsters, and because that's uncomfortable. Like, they expect you to always say things in their favor, and it's just good news for Andy Cohen. So he doesn't have this headache over his head anymore. He doesn't even have the headache of Nene's lawsuits. When I tell you, the worst thing a network is afraid of is the word lawsuits. They will get away from you like a hot potato. Lawsuits do nothing but damage a network, okay? And that's the last place that they want to go, is to a network. So congratulations, Andy Cohen. You saved your job. Now you got a lot of work to do. We need you to fix up RHOA. Now, really quickly, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because this is a mess. This is a mess. Yep. Okay, so let me put my picture up so I can have my marker. This year, I don't know, I think we talked about this before. By me not being consistent with reality TV, I know a lot of things and then I forget to report on them. But from now on, you guys, I'm trying to be consistent on reality TV because I just got sick of reality TV. I really have. But this year, we all know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta was disastrous last season, a disaster, okay? And we know that they wanted to bring Portia back and create the show around Portia, okay? And that's smart because Portia, like her, love her, hate her, was a fan favorite and always bring good things. The problem they're having now is, number one, they don't have a complete cast right now. Okay, so they don't know who they're bringing back. They wanted to bring the people back that Portia wanted to come back, but then Simon interferes. So Simon has been trying to mess up, there's no other way to say it, all of Portia's storylines. He's befriending this one. He's going out with that one. He's trying to talk to them not offline, but like in private about Portia and how she really doesn't like you. And he's just trying to destroy the show. He's threatening the Bravo that he'll take them to court if they film his house. Also, he wanted a breakdown of what Portia was going to make. And he's just being very difficult. And I don't understand why. I feel that Portia was on reality TV before she met Simon. And so that you didn't have anything to do with that. So why are you in your feelings? What do you think, Perry?
Well, look, he was on the show too. Maybe they could have met before they started filming, and all people say, well, they met a long time ago when he was with Fallon. The whole thing is this. He looking at how people are going to look at him. Okay. Now, Fallon, he left Fallon, but he looked more like a player. He left her and started up with Portia. He felt like,
Okay.
hey, it's a good thing. For him, that wasn't a bad look. But if you feel like this girl played you, leaked your citizenship record, now that she got the contract, feel like she don't need your black ass no more, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, do he supposed to let it play out? Okay, well, you don't use me up, you don't swallow me up so far. I'm gonna let you keep doing it. Or is part of him hurt and saying, hell no, I'm getting back at her? Most people say I wouldn't do that until the divorce come.
Mhm.
People would come back and take anything they gave you when you was dating back when they get mad.
Right.
And he's like,
Mhm.
no, you don't played me enough or tried
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
I be damned if you gonna film in my mansion and use my stuff without me getting no money from it. And I don't seriously think it's a money thing for him. I think he feel like she used him up. And now that she got this new contract, which the only reason she probably got the damn new contract is because she ran off with the man next door. See what I'm saying? And played his ass really good. And then once she get the contract, I'm gonna leak his citizenship and file for divorce.
Perry, we don't know if Portia leaked Simon's citizenship
Well,
papers.
who else could have did it?
Perry,
His status been the same for the
why
last 40 years.
what will Portia get out of doing that?
Storyline, a way to go ahead. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it would take me for a fact. But when you go into marriages and you do all this stuff and you say, well, hey, we got a prenup. If I do this, give me a reason to leave him and I still might can rob him at the same time. I do not know.
Perry, don't start saying crazy shit to make me laugh.
No, I don't know the specifics, but what I'm saying is, I think the man is seriously hurt because those girls he been running out after, since she pretty much said she's filed for divorce. He could have had those girls before Portia,
Right.
and he's hurt, and he's trying to look unfazed by it. That's my opinion.
All right, Simon. No one's seen this coming. I didn't see it coming. Certainly, Bravo didn't see it coming. But they don't even have a cast right now. They don't know who to cast. It is a hot mess because of Simon. So I don't know.
Well, I got a question for you then, and I love Portia to death. Is it worth watching Portia if it's not talking about the Simon relationship and how she took him away from filing?
Right.
I don't think so. I really don't think so, Sharrell. Like, I think that's the part people want to see her in the mansion, don't stole this girl husband and living her finest life. Now, at this point, is she gonna go back to the hot dog man? That's not gonna be too exciting.
Wait, hold on. Dennis was interested in dating one of her ex-friends, but I can't remember who it was.
That's probably until she filed for divorce. Then he probably dumped her and waiting in line to get back with Portia. I don't know.
That's a mess over there. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta might not come to be because they got a lot of work to do. They haven't even started filming. So they got to get through all Simon's demands, make sure there's no lawsuit over there. Now, the people that she asked to come back, the relationships have changed. So it's just a mess over there. So all they got right now is Portia that is going to have to film in her old house and no supporting cast. So Andy Cohen, it's good that you are back on the job because you got a lot to do with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And they have even started filming for Potomac. So it looks like they're going to push the Real Housewives of Atlanta back another year or 6 months or just push it further back. And I believe they will air Potomac again before they do Atlanta. So
and that's
it's not looking good.
I said Potomac's pretty whack right now too.
It's all they got. I mean, listen, the only show that's doing good over there is Vanderpump Rules. Beverly Hills is hanging on by a very thin thread, very, very thin. And so, they got a lot of work to do over there. It's a mess. It is a mess. But it's not as bad as Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's talk about that really quick. Got to put up my, so I know my timestamps. Okay, let's talk about the disaster that goes by the nickname Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, this show never had stellar numbers like that. Like we say that Bravo's numbers are low, but they're consistently like Beverly Hills, a million around that. Um, Even in Vanderpump Rule, they debuted at 4.5 million. So they are good. And it's because it's getting toxic over there, and they decided to uh postpone and have a cool down period so everybody doesn't get so crazy. But
Mhm.
because it's a new network, Carlos found success with Love and Marriage Huntsville, probably in 400,000s every week. If it's really good, maybe five, but they didn't bring in numbers like that. And it was okay for Upstart. OWN didn't have any reality TV shows at that point that were really, really popular. This is when Oprah was around and she was working with Tyler Perry, and he had a lot of scripted shows and stuff like that. But last week, 237,000,
What?
disaster.
237 people?
That view, yeah, ratings, 237,000. Perry.
Naughty, naughty, naughty women. The ladies are fighting.
Perry, stop. We're not gonna do Carlos. Don't do Carlos, okay? Anyway, it's probably their last season, and it should be their last season. So what people Love and Marriage Huntsville don't understand, or maybe just a lot of people don't understand, is when you do reality TV and it's over and you walk away, that's the reputation that's going to follow you. It's just you're always going to be known to being on that TV show. Even Cardi B, when we think about Love and Marriage, what was it? Love and Hip Hop, Love and Hip Hop. So you know the show that Cardi B was on. That reputation always follows you. So when you know that for a very good, successful career as a reality TV star, you have to have a goal. Like Lisa Vanderpump, she said, "I'm going to come in and I'm going to promote my businesses."
Mhm.
Damn the storyline. Her goal was promoting her businesses so she would become a household name. I think if you get on there and you just want to show your life and you just want the public to love you, that's never going to work. You have to have a goal, because in reality TV, people might like you one day and then not like you the next day.
Mhm.
Another thing is just because you're liked by the public does not mean that you can go on to other things. They don't really care about villains. They care about numbers. I hope this makes sense. So, Melody, according to the rumors, wanted to be stellar. She wanted everybody to like her and not expose anything bad. They don't care about that. Like, they don't care if you think Martell is a doll. They're looking at numbers. Okay. So when she created the millimeters, whoever created them, and they turned into her bodyguards, they really did Melody a disservice. No other network is going to work with Melody Holt. It got even worse. One of the worst things that the networks are afraid of is lawsuit. Just say the word like Nene did, and they don't want to work with you. So she had all of them over there. They're throwing lawsuits at each other left and right, damaging her brand. But she thought long as she could keep the dirt quiet,
Mhm.
it wouldn't damage her brand. But the millimeters have damaged her brand completely. No other network wants to work with her anymore. Now this is a lot, especially if you are not familiar with how networks work and stuff like this. Every time I tell people this person's going to be fired, they lose their mind. From Nene to Candy and now Melody. Melody is done in reality TV, and she doesn't realize that she shot herself allegedly in the foot. Shouldn't have said that word, but because of these millimeters, uh, they even went after Carlos King. Okay, so they are unhinged. But here's the twist in things. So I know why I feel that she wanted to befriend somebody from Bravo, because everybody on OWN wants to be on Bravo, including Carlos King, if you ask me, because they pay more money.
Right. It's
They,
almost like the local strippers in Atlanta at the smaller joints all look up to Magic City. But go ahead.
Hey, Dorita, thank you. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to
Happy
you.
Mother's
Very
Day,
first
Shirley.
Mother's Day. Your mom.
Yep.
Congratulations. So anyway, it's a big mess over there. So all they can do now, they're on their way out. This is the last season. This is the lowest of the lows. No one's watching the show anymore. But here's the ironic thing in all this. So last episode, she gets Martell arrested. Networks don't like shit like that. We want drama for the show, but we don't want it to end up in a courtroom. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you won't believe who Bravo has an interest in, according to the rumors. They want to work with Martell. Those millimeters are going to flip out.
Okay.
They want to work with Martell, and they want to work with Martell. He already established a relationship with them when they allowed him to come on. I believe it was last season as Sheray's +1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they know him, they like him, and I'm being told that they're very, very interested in him being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they're willing to pay him. This is what Melody wanted. She don't flip out. She don't understand where she made her mistakes. Those millimeters were your biggest mistakes.
Right. The
You
network.
can't have people acting like that, huh?
And you're right. The network like it when you come with a fan base, right? Like just like any other corporate 500 employer, when you come up and you got gang members with you, they look at your ass different. And when I say that, a fan base is coming to just support you, whatever you do, but gang members just torture you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I wouldn't say code. I'll put them like sort of like in that category as gang members. And shit, I think I heard last week or 2 weeks ago, they suing the network. Oh,
I thought you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, no. That they're, I don't know. It's supposed to be some lawsuit against OWN. Now, when that shit happens, shit rolls downhill.
So let me say this, because a lot of people, when I give you information first, they don't believe it or whatever. They say it's not true, that they don't even pay them in. They are willing to pay Martell Holt. Trust me. Watch out for the news. Know that you heard it here first. They want him on their network. They never pay them in. So if that's true, that's something. They want him on their network. And I don't know why. I don't know, but they want him on the network. And I really think in the beginning, Melody thought that could have been her, but she really messed up and did some things that were really crazy. Now let's talk about this, some of these things that she did and what's going to be played out tonight. Okay, so tonight's episode is mostly about the blogger Anthony Lofty. Let's just be real. And you're doing episodes about bloggers? It's insane. I don't know what's going to happen. So what happened was, I guess they were filming and they were at some cast trip in Houston, and they all were supposed to meet up and talk and work things out. Okay. Now, I guess things weren't going right for Kiki. So Kiki calls Anthony and says that everyone came after her, and Anthony tweeted about it. Mel gets a hold of Anthony tweeted about it and goes after Kiki to solve this problem. And the problem is that Melody didn't want to look bad, right? And so I'll play you just a clip of what's going on. So they end up having to figure out, well, how do we do this so Melody doesn't look bad? Now, this is crazy. This is how controlling she was. She didn't want anything bad about her out there, okay? Anthony plays the tape. I've heard this tape a million times. He played it on his channel. The millimeter said it was a fake tape. Whatever. Let me play this for you. No. When they tell castmates don't work with bloggers, they're telling you that for a reason. let me play this really quick. So I guess this is just a portion of the tape. Anthony has the entire tape on his channel. I cannot believe that Carlos King is doing a episode around bloggers. It makes no sense.
Now, let's go ahead and start the recordings, all right?
You need to tell her this not your Instagram.
But the thing is, why would she lie and say that Kiki sent her something and she didn't, though?
I know, Anthony. It's
it's not right. It's not. Like, come on. Like, why? It's like they always want Kiki to sit up here and say everything. Just, man, it's not right. And the thing is, I have nothing against Mel. I have nothing against her at all. I mean, it's just a general question. I mean,
you know, and then what you can say is that, y'all, I wasn't just pointing Mel out. I should have said the rest of the cast. Would you call them out? Would you call out the Fletchers?
but the thing is, they do call them out. Everybody has had a moment on Love and Marriage Huntsville that people have called them out. People have sit up here and said they didn't like when
But she said, you know, she was fine with that. She had a problem with it was a comment that said how said that 8 people attacked me. And she's like, what? I never attacked nobody. You know, and she was like, I don't know where this is coming from. And that's when her asked me, you know,
So there's a little snippet of what they're talking about. Melody gets mad because she doesn't want anything out there that's going to make her look bad. But what she doesn't realize is Anthony Lofty has major Bravo connections. The place that she wanted to go. And sometimes there's a part of me that feels like in the beginning, she was befriending him just to, you know what I mean? You get to know some of the people behind the scenes, but she made a complete disaster out of this. You can't be that controlling that if anybody says anything bad about you, you send the Melamutts in their direction. You are now reality TV poison. They're not going to work with you. You can listen to those millimeters if you want to. Someone says, and they're going to find it hard to believe that Bravo wants to work with Martell over Melody, but y'all have to remember, y'all living in this bubble, the millimeters, where they build each other up, and you know how you get each other going, and you make it everybody think everybody's thinking this way. But when you step out that bubble and realize that they damaged your career and that they sound ridiculous, you'll understand what I'm saying. I would rather work with Martell than Melody because it turned into a cult, a gang, whatever word you want to use, going after people for saying bad things about Melody. This show is over. Okay. Yeah, I doubt that you get a second season with ratings that low. That's going to be your reputation, Mrs. Rogers, is that you are like Nicki Minaj with the barbs. And you notice she had to back down with the barbs. No one wants people intimidating them and saying all this stuff. It's insane. So I'm going to leave y'all over there and make y'all think whatever you want to think. But I know how reality TV works. Ask Lisa Rinna. When you leave when you leave reality TV, that reputation follows you. And it's very, very hard to change. Lisa Rinna is having a difficult time finding a job. Why? Because she was using troll farms and she was a big headache. Lawsuits, the whole thing. Where is Diana? The word lawsuit is a dead. Nobody wants to be working with that. If your millimeters are suing each other and going back and forth, they will shun you. And these people don't understand how reality TV works. But I guarantee you, I'm saying right here, Bravo's more interested in working with Martell Holt, who's already worked with them before and possibly could be working with them now. You never know. Than they are with Melody Hope. She's damaged goods. And not only that, the whole entire cast hates her because she does this bullying stuff that she's doing with Kiki right now. Like, say this, say that, don't you? No one's going to work with you. So you might as well go ahead and create your own network because it's a wrap. And for anybody on reality TV, you might want to be the villain for the show. That reputation follows you. That's all I'm saying. Lisa Rinna's on there taking off her skivvies. No one wants to work with her. All of them had a difficult time. That group of bullies that
She
was
can't
on.
even get her Depends commercial back.
What are your thoughts on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Perry?
Well, no, I think pretty much what you're saying. I think this, right? I think that it's a fine line between love and hate. It's a fine line when you come on and you want to be loved by everybody.
Mhm.
But sometimes people look at it the wrong way. I think when you watch the reality show, I think more people love the more human person on the thing that has their strengths, they have their weaknesses. It don't come
Gotta be
across as
real.
fake,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think that could be a part of her problem. Just want to be love, love, love. And it's like you do a fantasy. It's not reality that a person's walking around perfect with no mistakes. But that's the role she want to have. And the millimeters are like, to me, it's like a group of people that live in a house with no windows. And the only truth they get is when Mel walk in and tell them. And they're never able to look out the window to see the damn truth.
Uh-huh. Okay, I can't. Linda C says Martell's contract might forbid him to work for the competition for the next several months. I don't know if you noticed this. Martell has already been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta for a complete half season, for a whole season with working with Sharrell. He's already been there.
And
the rumors is,
go ahead.
And the rumors is that they paid him. So this is not nothing new. He's already been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Go ahead, Perry.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying, and then contracts, it could be a problem, but then like for full term or whatever, but contracts always can be negotiated out of too.
Because I was shocked that they brought him on. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think it only did Love and Marriage Huntsville a favor because it introduced somebody from the show on a bigger show. It's like somebody coming to a bigger stage instead of outside 7-Eleven parking lot.
It's a mess over there. Melody is ruined her reputation. The millimeters are out of control. So she's pretty much done on reality TV. And I know that's hard for you guys to say, to hear if you're a fan, but she's done on reality TV unless she goes and does her own network. So if you do that, congratulations. But no other network's going to mess with you because of all of the things that you had going down, especially too that now that they're airing it and all that. But what does this mean for Carlos King? Okay, his only hit show is now no longer a hit show. So he has a string of, I don't want to say flops, but what's a good word?
Well, I mean, I don't know what they call them, projects. But I mean, he's trying different things, but it's not easy to put on a good reality show and you're on a low budget.
Yeah.
It's very hard. That's almost like taking one of those C movies, making it compete with some A movie. It's just hard to do. And I think with Carlos,
but he was doing it in the beginning. He was doing it in the beginning. I think that he put too much.
It was something different. It was something different, right? And it was sort of, kind of Marriage and Love Huntsville. Nobody ever heard of no damn Huntsville. So it's like, wow, he got these country folks on there. Let me go and check it out. I'm just saying, let me go. Hee-haw. But I'm just saying, Sharrell, like, I think he could have did that. And then it was something different, something new. But for the last couple of years, the only conversation about the show is this damn divorce. How many times can you keep throwing that playbook out there? And it works. So I think it's done. And I think with a lot of castmates make the mistake. They think, oh, I'm going to be the shining star of this cast and then alienate everybody else. But they don't realize that people aren't just watching for one person. They watching for a group. And when you mess up the group, like I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville, the group is divided.
Well, here's the thing. They're not really divided.
Divided right now a little bit.
No, all the cast members get along except Mel. None of the cast members like her. So I don't know. maybe they could go ahead and let Love and Marriage Huntsville die and come back with a different form with the Scotts. I think, and have all the other people come in, but make the Scotts the star of the show and make it about real estate versus infidelity. That's what I think.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Something.
Raising
But anyway,
pigs. Make it about raising pigs, cows, something, anything.
but that show is over. And because the show is over, are you going to continue to do your Perry?
No, you know what though? I doubt it. Like, I mean, because like I said, and I ain't a lot of people. I said I'll try to watch the show. I just like talking to the people sometimes. But
Okay.
it's just been such a long week, and then like this show, shit, I really don't care about it. But I mean, tonight, I don't think I'd do it.
You should do it tonight, because this episode is going to be about Anthony. You can straighten some things out, and people might have something to say. So the reason that you do your show is because the people that like the rest of the cast had nowhere to go. It was millimeters. Maybe you could do it and then allow them to voice their opinions, rest of the cast, without some big backlash because you say something. It's insane, and you have to do it too, because they're giving the backlash now to Destiny, and it's just a gang, like you said. All right, anything else you want to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Oh no, I think I'm good for right now.
Okay, so what me and Perry do is we look at things different than a regular viewer, because we know what happened behind the scenes and what's going on in front of the scenes. And sometimes we might make a comment that doesn't make sense, but you only have half the information, because sometimes somebody might tell me something and say, don't say anything or something like that. So I'm feeling this one way and I know what's coming up next. So I wanted to talk about P. Diddy, because when I told people that P. Diddy is not going to get in trouble for this Rodney Jones lawsuit, no one wanted to believe me. And they say, you support people that take advantage of
P-file and everything.
And they just didn't understand what I was talking about. There were so many things against Rodney in this lawsuit. One of them being their star witness, the damn lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn. He was a huge negative for Rodney because the judges already don't like him. So they all know each other behind the scenes. I'm trying to explain this to you guys. Sometimes deals are cut behind the scenes that you know nothing about as the person that's on the stand. So let's say Perry's the defendant and I'm friends with the judges and all this. This happens all the time. You guys don't understand how the law works. And they might, so you're friends with the other attorneys. They don't hate each other. They're friends with the other attorneys. They're saying that Blackburn's at it again. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to hold up. Why don't we just do this and you just give them so many years or a slap on the wrist? That's how deals are made with lawsuits. It's not all in front of the camera. When I told you that Rodney was a huge disadvantage when Tyrone Blackburn was a huge disadvantage for his case, no one wanted to believe me. So, and then I said, they're going to slowly dismantle this case down to nothing. So we know a couple of weeks ago, they filed a motion to dismiss. Thank you, Joshua. Hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, now Joshua's been with us a long, long time. Happy Mother's Day, Sharrell. Happy birthday and Mother's Day to your mom, Perry. Thoughts and prayers with you.
Yeah, thanks, Joshua. Appreciate it. That was so nice.
So sweet, because he's really going through it. I'm not gonna lie. Perry is dealing with some heavy emotions right now, and we all love you, Perry. Anyway, attorneys play golf together. Explain them to him, Aphrodite, how this works. They're friends. If you get a lawyer that's hated, it's very rare you're going to win. And then I said they're going to slowly dismantle the case. They're going to pay people off. All of a sudden you have no defendants because I forgot. You know they do when they pay people
Yeah.
off. I don't remember. He's done it before.
Right.
Why won't he do it again? Does that mean
yeah.
that I'm supporting Diddy because I'm saying that he's going to start paying people off? It's not mean I support Diddy, but I'm using common sense. And that attorney is so hated, already got penalized by another judge. He's not liked. This case is going nowhere really soon. So they filed a motion to dismiss the first portion of the case about the first victim. And now, yesterday, the second victim. Somebody said to me, Sharrell, you don't know what you're talking about. Diddy's going to be arrested in 10 days. Remember that? The feds are going to come in and no, they're not. And let me tell you why. Because there's a rumor out there that those raids weren't really for Diddy. It was for the tapes. So I don't know if you guys noticed, whenever there's a big case about women of the night and sex, sex scandals, we never know who the clients are. Even in the Jeffrey Epstein case, Heidi Flies, you never know who the clients are that are using these.
Right.
They protect the clients. So we don't know why they even raided his place. And Perry kept saying they're raiding the place for those tapes, but not to use the tapes to persecute Diddy, to keep these high profile people out of the media.
Yeah, from being exposed. Yep.
I hope y'all understand that. But if there will be a federal case, they got to arrest him first.
Because if I came on tomorrow and exposed that thing and said Trump was at the Freak Fest, oh my Lord, it's going to be a mess, right? That's just a lot of stuff. But I'm just saying. But, you know, like I said, that's just my thought about it. But when people throw out allegations, oh, it's done. You know, a lot of innocent people be found guilty. A lot of guilty people be found innocent. Until you go to court, you just don't know. And the biggest thing, we need to seriously wait till some charges are filed. Because people will go back to say, oh, the feds don't play. Their indictment rate is high. When they indict you, it's high. But the feds don't always press charges on you. That's the difference. Now, it's a difference once you don't, by the time they decide to go after you, they got enough proof. But right now, this house been raided, what, a month, 2 months now?
And finally, Alexis gets it. She says, this case from the beginning was about protecting the elite. It's a history in the United States that if there's some big sex scandal, they're going to protect their attorneys, the senators, could possibly be the president, you know? Trump admitted to it, being with women of the night or whatever you want to call them. So this case is going to go away. And I already told you that Diddy has revenge on the mind, and he's upset with the people that he feels did not stand up for him. So those are all the updates, court updates I wanted to give you for today. Lots going on. I'm following these cases, but it's not as popular when they're not on TV with the feds or whatever. People don't see it through. And all they're going to say is, what happened? Well, I think people stop talking about the case even, don't you?
Yeah.
Like Love and there were a lot of networks covering it. They don't even talk about it anymore. They didn't even talk about him.
You can keep speculating off the shit you said last week and the week before that. Ain't nothing new really came out. And it might be a while before it do. And you can never say never. When the feds do their shit behind the scenes, they ain't coming out here telling Joe Blow. And they damn sure ain't telling the blogger. So that's just, just the way it is.
Hi, Sylvia. I feel like I know you. Someone said Nene received a peach. Is that true? No, it's not true. Let me tell you what happened. When Portia first got signed on, she was really pulling for Nene to come on the show. Andy Cohen will never forgive Nene because of the lawsuit. Like I said, you say lawsuit and you are done. Like Monique, she sued Netflix. She's not going to get too much work because they feel like if she doesn't get her way, she's going to sue. Like, it puts stain on you when you sue. But anyways, but Portia was really pulling for Nene to come. And then when she broke up with Simon and Nene hung out with him, and Portia was upset, and then Nene just came for the juggler. I don't know why Nene went so hard on Portia, but Portia doesn't even want her around anymore. I don't know. I love Nene. I love Nene Leakes, but sometimes she's her own worst enemy by this, when she just attacks. And if you're upset with someone, it's one thing to be mad and then you talk it out. If you attack someone where they don't ever want to talk to you again, she just came hard for Portia, and that relationship is done. Another one. Hi, Elaine. She says, I love you, but how you defend racist Andy? He shit all over Mariah and Nene. Okay, so let me explain this. This is a good question, because before Nene threw out the word lawsuit and said that Andy was racist, all the girls got together, all of them. Candy Burris, oops, I done lost my damn thing. Candy Burris, all the girls came together, and they were supposed to approach Bravo as a unit, right? To say that we feel like we don't get the same treatment as your regular shows. Now, Andy Cohen is a white Jewish man, and so he doesn't understand Black culture, period. He was relying heavily on, at one point, Nene Leakes did everything she said. Then later, Candy Burris. When they decided to all go as a group, Candy decided to pull out. She decided to pull out because, one, she was the favorite at that time, about to step into the Nene's spot. Two, they were paying Candy handsomely, and they were listening to everything that Candy was saying at the point. So at that point, what they was saying was racist because he didn't understand Black women. That kind of fell apart when it was revealed that, nah, he just wasn't doing the things that the women wanted to do. So when I say that I'm supporting him, I'm looking at it like this. This is not going to hold up in court, and you're going to get blacklisted because no one wants to be labeled a racist. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it from the business end, just like Candy was looking at it. And so what I'm saying is, yeah, he might have been racist, and racist as in I can't identify with them. I don't know what's best for them and what's not best for them. That's what they meant about him being racist. Now, did he not pay you because you were Black? It wasn't that kind of racism that they were talking about. It was like, well, you seem to
like some more than others.
Support Lisa Vanderpump and her shows, but you're not supporting us. But he didn't support you, but he was supporting Candy. Does that make sense? So he didn't support the group, but he picked out the ones that he worked closely with. And that's why Candy Burris came out and said Andy Cohen's not racist. So, and nobody said anything to her about that. No one said, well, you're supporting a racist. People said Candy's about her money. So shit. So how am I going to support a cause that they're not even standing up for and not telling us exactly what the problems were? So that was fell apart. So I'm not going to step in and start saying, well, you didn't do this for the Black people and you didn't do that and this, when they won't stand up for themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So when I say Andy Cohen isn't more racist than anybody else on that damn network, racism happens all the time. But when money's involved, it changes things. Explain what I'm trying to say, Perry, while I get my...
No, I just think that you're saying that, yeah, anybody could be a little biased to different races or whatnot. You don't feel that Andy is one that's going to grab his white sheet to go to the rally on Friday night.
Right.
Now, and because if he was that racist to a certain point, it was some Blacks he liked. Candy was the highest paid. So
and Nene.
That's all we're saying. And a true racist, you would have never got a highest paid Black, just in my opinion.
Yeah, Nene was the highest paid for a long time, and she was willing to get there at the group, but Candy outsmarted her. Candy decides at the last minute, I'm going to go tell Andy Cohen what the girls are saying, and they're calling you racist, and they're all supposed to ambush you, but I don't feel like that. Then he started trusting Candy. Being racist and different is not the same as being racist. Exactly.
Yeah, that was well said. That's it.
They didn't have the budget as the other franchises for the black cast. I think even Atlanta had to pay for their pictures one season because they didn't like it. It was so much going on. Okay, you have to remember this also too. Although I love the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm not talking about Potomac. This is before Potomac even came. The women on the set of the Real Housewives of Atlanta were not rich. And I'm not trying to disrespect them. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills came in rich. These women had money. So you're looking at them like, oh, they're doing all this. They don't understand that when the girls went on a trip and on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they paid for their stuff. They were going in jets. We didn't know the jet was stolen at the time. That was Erica's jet, but they were in jets. And it seems like, well, they're not doing for us what they're doing for the white shows. But a lot of that came out of their pocket because these women were really rich. I mean, Nene and them got rich later on. And when I say rich, Nene might be worth a couple million. 300 million is a big difference. Diana, she was Lisa Vander. These women were rich. So it's a lot going on. Nene and Kim or some of the poorest housewives. They came in poor. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm talking about on the grand scheme of things. Can't compare yourself to Beverly Hills because you don't have that kind of money on your cast. Does that make sense? And Andy treated them different because let's say you're dealing with Kathy Hilton, who could make or break Andy Cohen. So he did treat you guys different. It wasn't in your head. He did treat you different, but that's just the way society is set up. It's really weird. Lisa Rinna is struggling.
Okay.
I'm telling you this right now, and people are going to get upset. Melody Holt is not going to get another job in reality TV after this show goes off. She's just not. Yeah. Just like Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, that's a very true statement. Lisa Rinna is struggling like a crackhead with no pipe. Could you imagine?
You used to like Lisa Rinna.
I did. I mean, well, I liked her because the show would get boring, and I knew Lisa would turn any trick for $1.
But she's not thinking, I'm not going to have this job forever. Queen Script says Beverly Hills had Maloof money. Yep. LVO. Camille. Oh my God. Do you guys know how rich Camille Grammer is? Heather Dubrow. I forgot about Heather Dubrow. Like that's real money. So y'all don't have that kind of money. Respectfully, I think the richest housewife on the cast was Kandi Burruss, and that might have been like $35 million. When you're dealing with people making $300 million a year, is different. It's just different.
Because on Potomac, where was their field trips to the local park?
Tiffany says Drita, I think she's talking about from Mob Wives, was the name you were looking for. Yeah, Drita. I love Drita. Oh, God. You talk about the Mob Wives. They got real problems going on. Hi, Smack to you. Why didn't RHOA have the money and they had the highest ratings at one time? Okay, so when it came to the paychecks, at first, everybody was on an even scale. Nene came out there. They felt that Nene, whether you love her or hate her, I know people will always try to down her, but she was the star of that show, and they wanted to keep their stars happy. So they started not evenly doing the money. Does that make sense? So I might not take you to the most expensive place, right? But because I'm paying Nene on the back end. So you have a budget. It's not like they can just spend whatever they want. Andy Cohen has to go by what the networks tells them. I'm going to give you this much. So where they were, some would say cheated, but it made up in some of the other women's salary. Kandi Burruss, Nene Leakes, Kenya at one point before they brought her back at a much lower rate. So that's how it looked. So does that make sense?
And if that's the question she's asking, or Troy J could be asking this, by them have the highest ratings, why didn't they have the same amount of trip budget money? Now,
I'm
I think you
explaining
just said part of it. You just said a few minutes ago, like some of the other shows, the show might sponsor X amount, but the other people might come up with the rest. Now, I now will say this too, Troy J, and you know, not to get too deep into it, but like even if a black show got the highest ratings, they might not get the highest sponsors neither. For different products they might
and
sell.
also
and stuff
too,
like
a
that.
lot of that money went behind the
It's a
scenes
lot of that
to the
stuff.
women's paychecks.
hmm
So I have this much budget. Let's just say I give you $1 million and I give you a $50 trip, but then I take the other money and give it to the stars of the show. So you're looking at Beverly Hills and they're going doing all this. Well, what you don't know is they are paying for their own stuff. So, and the money that they did have for RHOA, they made up in giving to Nene Leakes and Candy Burris. And whoever, and Portia, whoever, when them women were making money in the beginning, until the network said that has to stop. That's when they start firing all the people that they were giving a lot of their money to. It's hard to explain. And when there were cuts on RHOA was no longer the highest rate or good. That's true. So ratings played a big difference in that. It's a lot, y'all. A lot going on. I like Nene, but after she let the fame go to her head, that's what everybody's saying, that she let the fame go to her head. I like Nene a lot. And let me tell you what I think happened. Yes, I have to watch what I say because I really like Nene and I have a lot of people. I don't want to disappoint the people that really support her. Nene started acting different. She didn't have money before she came on the show. And that's not a bad thing. All that stuff was rented. And so she started making more money. And then she became the highest paid person on the show. So her problem was, and it wasn't in her head, when people came in, the newbies, they will go for Nene for whatever reason. So she got to a point where she couldn't really trust anybody. She got very defensive all the time, and her personality did change. It is what it is. Doesn't mean I don't like you, but Nene, you changed and you became short-tempered, and it was fame go to her head. She changed and started treating those women on that show bad, and she was being two-faced. Well, she would do things like have people fired. I still like her. I'm just saying, this is the honest to God truth. And her personality changed and it was just a mess. Then she made a big mistake by suing Bravo and going against Andy Cohen. And that was a big mistake. And I told y'all how that came to be. And then when they realized that Candy Burris backed out, they should have all backed out. But no, Nene went forward. And then when she went forward with it, all of the other Black women pulled out. So then it left Nene alone to call this man, her boss, a racist. It was a mess. The way she acted when Greg got sick was disturbing. Let me say this about that. When you love somebody and they're dying, it's just a lot of feelings and emotions to deal with. I'll just say that. So Nene, but I think she loved Greg sincerely and he loved her. And she might not have did everything right, but the love was there. Does that make sense, Perry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you saying that you feel like she truly loved him?
Mm-hmm.
But the illness was not only just affecting Greg, it was affecting her too. Everyday mental, stress and stuff like that. I mean,
And I love Nene. I do. But I have to say, answer these questions honestly. No, she was emotional and didn't know how to handle it. Give
Right.
grace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to go through,
Mm-hmm.
what she went through. Very hard. Their divorce was fake and storyline. Bravo trademarked I Dream of Nene before the divorce ever happened. That's true. That's true. Nene never came back from calling Peter a bitch. I remember that. I noticed her personality changed after that. But the things that Nene was going through was not in her head. I would say another person that came for her would be Claudia. Like just behind the scenes, like Claudia Jordan came for Nene because then it became the thing to do when you're new on the show. Candy came for Nene right away. Right away. And so Nene didn't handle that like correctly. She would get argumentative and she would tell Andy to fire this one and just I still love her. I just can't. She's life. People make mistakes. Nothing's perfect. So
Yeah.
hi Lisa. Hi there, Michelle GM. How are you doing there? She said, oh, you guys all know each other. That's so great. I honor her hustle or hassle, struggle, and pain. Nene, at her core, has a very good personality. She's funny and she's laid back and easygoing. But I feel like if you put the spotlight on anybody, people are going to handle it differently, and some people don't know how to handle it at all.
Right.
So that's what's going on. Oh, I went over. Okay, I want to read this really quick. When someone you love is dying, sometimes you harden yourself so you won't fall apart. Nene has a soft side. She doesn't like to show. There you go. Thank you. A very soft side.
She do.
She does, even though she didn't show it. So and people will be like, how do you like her? I know there's a whole different side of Nene, and she's very cool. Anyway, you guys, so those were the updates. I will be breaking this video up. And some of the other videos that I've been got to break up because some people can't sit through an hour show and they ask me all the time, why aren't you breaking up your videos? I just forget. So I'm going to do that for the next couple days. So I'm going to be cutting up these videos and, you're welcome to rewatch them, but they're for the people that can't sit for an hour show. Anything else you want to say, Perry? Thank you, Joshua. I love you.
But I was going to say this. Hey, to all you mothers again, tomorrow's your big day. I need y'all to get up for Perry, take off your shoes and relax your feet. Let somebody else take care of you all damn day. You hear me? But until then, are you finished?
I am. We'll see you guys Monday.
Take care, everybody.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
F this shit, people. We out.
Shit, I'm out.